Hello, my name is Parkin, and at the time of recording I'm Bristol City Poet. This is the first of 6 videos that are going to invite you to write about your memories of the past and your hopes for the future of this place. Once you've done that writing, you can then enter it into the Bristol Zoo Gardens short story and poetry competition, and me and the other judges are really looking forward to reading what you've written. This first video is called Looking Back, Looking In, and the 3 activities we're going to do is one about memories and a way of kind of uncovering memories of the zoo. We're going to think about the whole zoo and whizzing around it with your imagination, and we're also going to imagine the zoo coming out and into your everyday life in the last activity. So to uncover some memories of the zoo, I'm going to invite you to use a technique Joe Brainard, a writer, used to create his memoir, and it's called I Remember. And all you do is you repeat the phrase I remember and then see what comes up. Keep the zoo in your mind and then keep repeating I remember. You don't have to explain any of those memories, but what I would say is use your senses. So use your smell, taste, touch, what you can see, all of these things, but don't explain anything in your I remembers. I've had a quick go at this, and these are the I remembers from my memories of the zoo. I remember the lion's roar at the base of my spine. I remember the upside down jellyfish pulsing. I remember the bright green and pink little parrots, sun conures, that's their name. I remember climbing in the giant tortoise shell. I remember trying to find the stick insects and wondering whether I could be that good at hiding. I remember the gorillas bickering over a cereal box. Set a timer for as long as you want, maybe 5-10 minutes, and keep repeating I remember with the zoo in your mind and see what happens. You can pause me now if you'd like to, and I'll see you in a bit. I hope you had a good time with the I Remember activity and you found lots of memories of the zoo. Maybe you made some memories up. That's all right too. Maybe they weren't even your memories. It's creative writing. It's all right to do that. So I'm going to invite you now to have a go at what's called an inventory poem. It's a poem that kind of takes in a whole space and imagines everything going on there. You can use your I Remember as inspiration for this to get you started with some ideas. And I'd like you to imagine that your mind is like this kind of drone or camera that flies around, and it can see and taste and smell and hear everything, this special drone that can move around. There's lots of examples of this kind of poem. One of them is by American poet Walt Whitman, and because we're by the world of water, it suits it perfectly. This one is called The World Below the Brine, and Walt Whitman is talking about what goes on under the sea. The world below the brine, forests at the bottom of the sea, the branches and leaves, sea lettuce, vast lichens, strange flowers and seeds, a thick tangle, openings and pink turf, different colours, pale grey and green, purple, white and gold, the play of lights through the water. Dumb swimmers there among the rocks, coral, gluten, grass, rushes and the aliment of the swimmers. Sluggish existences grazing there, suspended or slowly crawling close to the bottom. He goes on in this way to describe everything that's going on under the sea. I'm going to give you another example in a minute because I don't expect you to write like Walt Whitman, don't worry. And we'll see you shortly. Pause me now if you'd like to. Inspired by that Walt Whitman poem, because we're outside the world of water, I've written a poem called The World of the Zoo, using that idea of whizzing around this space with my mind as a kind of special camera. So, hunched in treetop boxes, the gibbons keep watch as the cherry blossoms snow round the red panda, snoozing on her favourite perch. In the meerkat den they bask under a heat lamp, keep watch, look back at the people watching, a little boy so excited to be here he might be sick. The gorillas' thick skin as they drum at their chest. The flamingos hear and stretch their bright legs to the beat. So whatever comes to you, go with it and get it all down on paper first, and you can edit it later, but for now just see what happens. So now you've had a go at some I Remember and an inventory poem imagining the whole zoo, I'd like you to look back and find a couple of animals that you particularly find interesting, that you really like. Once you've done that, I'd like you to make a list of maybe some jobs or places that you find in your day-to-day life, and then I'd like you to put one of those animals into that job or place. So there might be penguins in the office, there might be sloths working in the supermarket on the self-checkout tills or something else. We're here with the flamingos, and I've written something after a little brainstorm we had about the flamingos taking over the front desk at the zoo. So here it is to give you an idea of what I mean. Flamingos at the front desk. The flamingos have taken over the reception desk. They're clickety-clacking the keyboards with their pink and black beaks. Nobody understands their emails. They're too tall for the desks. Their back to front knees kick the wheelie chairs away. They skid across the floor and bounce off a pram. The visitors gasp that flamingos are staff. They honk and strut, don't know how to work the contactless machine, and in the glow of their prawn pink feathers, we're all too ruffled and forget our pins. So that's mine. When you start doing this, keep saying yes to the idea you have. Say, what if, what then, what if flamingos worked on the front desk, and what then, and then keep saying yes to that idea and go as far as you can and then a bit further with it. And I hope you have fun doing that.